What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Cinco. We didn't get kicked off of this yet. We'll see how long that takes. Say hi, super producer Stevens.
Hello.
What's up, Enrique? Let him know.
What's up, everyone?
And remember, my name is Ivan. Welcome to episode 2. Remember, guys, the Cinco is just a podcast where we get together, get a closed doors, get away from everybody that's bothering us, and talk about our top fives of whatever's going on this time. This week's topic is top 5 monsters. That's it. Not monster
Movies.
movies, because that'd be crazy. Just straight monsters. All right,
Like
guys?
the
That is our top
schedule
five.
Monsters.
says, monster
Monsters. There we go. But
movies.
this episode is brought to you by Software Etc. Do you like getting help by rude virgins? Go to Software Etc. Remember when people bought video games in hard copy? Software Etc. Every time you walked in, you're like, smells like virgin in here. Software Etc. Guys, at your local mall, right next to the Orange Julius. Again, this episode is brought to you by Software Etc.
Oh,
Did you guys ever go to those motherfucking places when they were open?
was that a chain? Like, do you think they were
Hell yeah,
everywhere
it was a chain.
nationwide?
Yes.
Really? I don't even
I
remember
heard
it
they were
here
in the world, bro. In the
in the
world. That's
world.
what Software, etc. Those motherfuckers were rude as hell too, man. Like you were bothering them, like when you were asking for help in that place,
Yeah.
bro. It's like, and they had that like section of computer games, and you're like, "Well, I just want a Nintendo 64 cartridge, dog. Can you give me that fucking Mario Brothers or what?" Like,
Why?
and they were just like,
Why do those
ugh.
places? Why do those places have that smell? Like even
I
to
think
this day,
it's,
like
I think they shoot it into the
there's
veins.
gotta. But is it all the cardboard or something? Like what is it?
It's the virgin.
Cardboard.
But like, because honestly, video game playing now is completely different than when we grew up, and you had to do it
Yeah,
in
Yeah.
the
because
fucking shadows and
you
stuff
go
like
to a
that.
Best Buy, you go to a Best Buy and it has a smell.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're
But not
saying, but
like
it's not to
that.
the level of software, etc., bro. Hell no,
No.
dog.
Okay,
Nah,
I never
they
went
were.
to a software etc. So
Yeah, oh, I
I don't
did
know.
because they had all the video games, right? And I had my Nintendo 64, say whatever it was. But like these guys were straight assholes because they would sell out at your Sears. They would sell out like those games would go quick at the big stores. So you're like, oh, let me go to software, etc., because I know they have a copy. But bro, you couldn't ask for shit in that place, dude. Like it was frustrating as hell, and it was always a dude with glasses. And that dude always was like, his skin has never been washed. It was oily as fuck. Like, and you couldn't be like, hey, bro, I just want that copy of Donkey Kong. Like, can you just hand me that? Ugh. Like, it was always like, God dang, dude. It was always
Yeah.
something with these fools. But yeah, guys, that is our sponsor.
You
If
were
they ever make
you
a
were
comeback, we're
bothering
fucked.
them. Yeah.
I was at work. I was bothering them
Yeah.
at work, guys, just so
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
that. That's all it. But in lieu, again, we are in spooky season, and that's why we're doing our favorite monsters. That's it, nothing else. Favorite
Monster
monsters. And
movies.
I was trying to remember, and I was thinking about this because I remember it. What is the scariest thing that ever happened? Scariest thing you ever saw? Scary, or just when you were little? Probably wouldn't scare you now, but back then it just freaked you out. I remember my mom. My mom. First off, remember when parents let you watch shit you shouldn't have been watching when you were growing up? God, the good
Oh
old
yeah.
days,
No,
right? Like,
my parents
oh
just didn't even
God.
know.
Okay,
My
or that.
parents
Like they
didn't.
didn't care enough. Or didn't bother enough. Maybe care enough sounds horrible, but he didn't bother enough. They're like, yeah,
Yeah,
go watch. I don't give a shit. You know, get out of here.
they
You're gonna
didn't
see
know any
titties. Go
better.
ahead.
They didn't know any
Yeah,
better.
right. Exactly. Chucky, vera, vera, Chucky. I don't give a fuck. Es un mono. But like, I remember my mom let me watch a 2020 special, and maybe it was a 20, maybe it was Dateline, maybe it was one of those, but it was one of those, the shows with the news
Ugh.
specials, and it was a straight exorcism. And
Oh,
this little girl was on a chair and she was tied to it, and they were like fucking simsalabim and throwing shit at her and hitting her with holy water. And she was like, "Rah, rah, rah." She was doing the whole thing. Bro, that terrified me as a kid, bro. Like, I couldn't sleep. I had to fucking sleep in my parents' room. It fucked me sideways, bro. And I was like 10 or 12. It
was
wasn't
that
like 4
on
or
the
5. I was like
news
10 or
or were
12.
you watching a movie?
Yes. Like, no, it was like 10 o'clock at night news special. It was like never seen before, exorcism, and the fucking Padres were throwing shit at her, and they were like,
Wow.
ah, and she was going. Nah, I'll be honest with you right now. If that shit was on TV and I saw it right now, still would fuck me sideways. Like, I still would get scared and stuff like that, you know. But as a little kid, good God, man, I went to church for like 3 years because of that, bro, and I didn't even want to go, but I just went, dude, because I was so scared of that. Like, it was horrible. Like, she was like breaking the fucking arms on the chair, and she was like
Mm.
just going crazy, and they were like, "Let the power of Christ compels you." And it wasn't The Exorcist. It wasn't that movie because I've seen that.
Yeah.
Parts
Yeah.
of it because my eyes were closed the whole time. But it was like a news special. They had old
That's
priests. They
creepy.
had a young priest. It was horrible, bro. Oh, that wrecked me. Wrecked me. So I still, to this day, probably scariest thing I ever saw in my life. Enrique Stevens, you got something you seen, watch,
That is
heard?
pretty. That's pretty creepy. For
Ugh.
me, it would like the scariest thing that has stuck with me to this day is a nightmare I had. Gosh, probably when I was
Ooh.
like 7 or 8. Like, and I still
Mm.
vividly
Damn.
can picture that nightmare. It was freaking
Wow.
scary. So my grandma lived in Whittier and had like her garage was detached, so like you would drive past the house and into the garage or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was like I don't know that it was a werewolf, but it was like a nightmare monster, whatever. Um, and the like vividly red, but I picture like hiding in the garage, running from this thing. Like it was just I don't know. It's too creepy. Creepiest thing ever. Like and
You can't
like
remember
first
what you did last week, but you remember that dream still.
yeah, like I can picture there are scenes from that, and that's how I know my grandma's house because I know like that dream, so I know the layout of my grandma's house. You know what I mean? Like I that is the reason why. Like I have yeah, and I don't know what it was. I don't know what triggered. I don't know what like whatever. Probably a Fantasy Island episode because those were creepy as hell. Um,
Oh
but
yeah, they
like
were. The
yeah,
thing.
so yeah, it could have been something like that, but I just like that like to this day that is the nightmare where I'm like,
Wow, that's crazy. That's
yeah.
interesting. What about you, Enrique? Anything that stuck with you from childhood or recently? I don't know,
I
whatever.
mean, nothing scares me. Nothing's ever scared me because I'm
Oh
a thug.
God. Oh
So
Jesus Christ, bro. This fool.
Ah,
no, the only thing I can, I mean, I've had things with dreams happen before, and I don't even know if it was a dream actually. We had when we moved from Boa Heights to La Puente, I don't know if it was the new house. Like I didn't even have a bedroom at first, so I was sleeping in the living room. But we had just moved in. There was boxes everywhere, and for some reason this night I got so freaked out. Like I wasn't sleeping. Anytime I closed my eyes, it seemed like the room would cave in on me or
oh,
something. And I don't know if I was
Mm-hmm.
dreaming this. To this day, I don't know if I was dreaming that or I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I still can't explain what was going on that night, but it freaked me out so bad, like that I still remember it to this day.
yeah,
I don't know, like I can't explain what happened. It's hard for me to even explain because you know how dreams can be, if it even was a dream.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was just so weird, and it only happened that one time. I don't know if I was somehow just kind of like triggered because it was a new place and I didn't know how to like my I don't know, my mind didn't know how to process it. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't know. If I ever have if I ever go to a shrink, this is probably a conversation I'm gonna have and hopefully they can explain what happened that night. But it was really weird.
that's
Bro, if
scary
you ever
though
go to
too.
shrink, this is way down the list, dog. You got other shit you got to deal with, bro. This is like top. Nah, this is shit, bro. No, you ain't getting. You have to go for a long ass time, dog. But so I know I'm a deep sleeper because I don't dream.
Uh-huh.
It is
At
Mm,
very
all?
rarely, very rarely. I'm gonna fucking have a horrible nightmare tonight. But now since I'm an
But isn't
adult,
it
I very rare
aren't dreams from deep
opposite.
sleep?
Nope,
yeah,
it's the opposite. Your dreams come in
from
the
light
first little
sleep.
state of sleep from light sleep. hmm And I
Mm,
don't, bro.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
like when my mom passed away, everybody talks about, oh, your dream with your mom. I don't think I've dreamt since my mom passed away. Like, I don't dream. Like, it just because I think when I hit, bro, I'm out, dude. I am out. Doesn't mean I can't wake up. Like, if the dog barks enough or something like that happens, it'll wake me up. But I think which is great because, like, I went to a checkup recently because we talk about how old our old asses are here, so we got to take care of ourselves. But like, just like, do you have problems sleeping? I'm like, no. Like, every once in a while I'll get anxious and I have to like maybe move to the couch or just watch a video or two and then I can fall back asleep or something. That does happen. But like for the most part, man, I'm out. So I don't dream.
Yeah.
Like and
mm.
there's been instances where I get that light sleep and I'm kind of awake and then something horrible comes into my head and I'm like, oh, but then I'm up and then I'm back down and that's it.
Wow.
Like, and that's one thing I always remember about John. I was always like, that fool must be a horrible sleeper, because that fool said that fool had
Oh,
dreams and nightmares like every day. I'm like, every day, right?
he.
And I'm like, bro, you
I
must
don't
not
think he
sleep
ever.
well, dude. Because I'm like,
I don't ever.
like,
I don't think he ever like deep sleep. Like
yeah, at
always
all.
surface level sleep.
Yeah, which is crazy to me, bro. Because I'm like, I'm like the opposite. I'm literally the opposite of you. I'm like, I don't think I ever surface sleep. If I surface sleep, it's on
Yeah.
the couch because I'm
Yeah.
like you're like, and you do that, and then it's like that's my surface sleep.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like when's the last time you guys
Can
had a
you guys
dream?
take naps during the day?
Probably last week. I dream weird shit all the time though that I
Um.
don't remember.
Okay, okay. Do you dream at all, Enrique? Like, I mean, like, do you like? Oh, last
Yeah.
Tuesday or yesterday I had one. Really? I like what percentage is good and what percentage is bad. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like dream to nightmare ratio. Like if that makes any sense.
Well, it's kind of like Steve.
Hmm.
Well, it's kind of like Stevens is saying. Sometimes you just don't remember. You know, you had a dream, but they're hard to remember.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
sometimes they're so wacky. They like, they don't make any sense. That it's like hard to even think back on.
Yeah.
Like, what the
You're at
fuck
a
was that? Like,
store and then
you had
you're
a
flying and then you picked up milk
yeah,
and then you did like it's just bizarre shit.
yeah. It's like crazy shit. Um, yeah, dreams are weird, man. Dreams are weird. Newsflash.
Interesting.
I
But
I would say
So,
for me, like your dream nightmare ratio, like 80-20
Mhm.
maybe. Like most of the
80
time they're
dream.
not bad, but
yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
like
Well,
wacky
Enrique
shit.
posed another interesting question. He was do you guys nap? I'll be honest with you, I was never a good napper. But recently here I do, but I have to be exhausted. And like what my family doesn't
Mhm.
understand sometimes is why all of your sons and bitches were asleep, I've been up, right? And
Mhm.
it's like even though we went to sleep at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, I wake up at 6 or 7. Look, yeah, I'm fucking tired because y'all, the
Mm-hmm.
rest of y'all get up at 10 or 11. My ass has been awake this whole
Mm-hmm.
time. But like
Yeah,
even
yeah.
then, I don't like it because it throws me off. Like doesn't mean I
Mhm.
won't
Yeah.
do it because dude, sometimes you're just exhausted and I'm sitting on the couch and I'm just like, but then it throws me off completely and I hate it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't. I guess I enjoy a nap, but I don't enjoy a nap if that makes any sense. Because then at night I'm gonna be like this, like trying to go to bed, bro, and I can't because I had a 30
Yeah.
minute shitty nap. Like it's all
Yeah.
hot. And it's
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I don't enjoy. I don't
You're
enjoy.
not
I'm
in
in a
your
weird position on
PJs.
my. Yeah, I'm in a weird position on my couch. Like it's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? My motherfucker, I got the
No, I
Ferrari
know.
of beds, bro. I can put my goddamn ratio where I want it. I can put the position. I got the goddamn Cadillac of beds, fool. This shit's amazing, bro. Sometimes I feel like an
What's
80%.
your What's your number? What's your number?
My number is 75, bro. My favorite position is 75. Sometimes I need 100, dog. Sometimes I got a little something going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what? I feel like a soft ass mood today. I hit it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and then when I move, it adjusts to me. Fool, like, fuck yeah,
Oh.
bro. I've been paying for that goddamn bed for like the last 5 years. It's worth every goddamn
Mm-hmm.
penny, bro. Like, worth every
Yeah.
America would spend money on your goddamn beds, bro. This is the best thing I ever did in my life. Maybe that's why I
Yes.
don't dream, fool. Because I'm in the fucking for the goddamn Lamborghini of beds, fool. Like, that's what I'm doing, dude. Get the
You're
fuck
in the
out of here,
clouds
bro.
already. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I'm already, dude. Like, how am I going to dream where I'm already living it? Dream, fool. That's what I'm doing, bro. I think I got 2 years left on this bed, fool. I
Stupid.
can't afford to buy a car till I finish paying off this bed, fool. But worth every goddamn penny. That's what I'm gonna tell you. So, on that wonderful note, and Sleepbed is not one of our sponsors, but
Bye.
we'll take it. It
Bye,
is
Canucks.
time to reveal our top 5 monsters,
Movie.
or if you don't do your
Movie.
homework correctly, monster movies like Stevens. But Stevens, it is
Just saying.
usually ladies first, but today we're gonna switch it up just so you have time. Enrique,
Oh, I'm
let's start
not
off with
changing my
Jonius.
list. My list is done.
Oh, you changed your goddamn list,
Go,
Stevens.
Stevens.
Enrique.
Go,
No, I'm
Stevens.
not.
Okay, you know
Go.
what?
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Ladies first,
Well,
Stevens. Even though you didn't get the right assignment, Stevens, what are your top 5 monsters? That's it, nothing else. Top 5 monsters, Stevens. What do we got?
I will relate it to monsters, but here you go. Because I did monster
All right.
movies the way it's written in the
Mm-hmm.
schedule. But,
All right.
so my number 5, I guess this would be classified as an alien. But I was going off of the
Ooh.
thing
Mm-hmm. Oh, the
because
thing. Okay.
the alien in the thing is some scary shit because you don't know who it is. You don't know who it
Mm-hmm.
assimilates to be. Um,
Never seen it.
oh, Enrique, you gotta watch this movie. Um,
I
it's
will agree with
basically
her.
an
It's one of those that you should probably watch.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically like an alien. These guys in the Arctic or Antarctic, I don't know where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a group of what, like eight to start off with, something like that. And the eight, like they hear
Mm-hmm.
something, and the aliens landed, and it assimilates to be. It takes over their being, and then like it
Mm-hmm.
assimilates with them and learns, and just yeah, it's
Okay.
it's creepy. It's
I
good. It's a
think
good
being in the
monster.
Arctic, Antarctic, that snow, the way it's already scary as fuck, bro. Like that's
Yeah,
already like just living
Yeah.
out there to me is scary.
you're
Being a California
isolated.
kid, right? Like
There's
that's already
nothing
terrifying.
there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's freaking
Mm-hmm.
scary as hell. So I went with the thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I will attribute that to aliens.
Mm-hmm.
My number four, I would say, is vampires. Then, and I'm going old school Dracula.
Hey, that is my
Um,
number. We agreed on one, Stevens. That is my number two, actually. Vampires,
wow, you
aka
got
Dracula.
vampires really
Well,
high. Well, see, if
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
I
just
do.
doing
What?
monsters, it might be different. But I was going movies, so.
Okay.
But I went
So
old
why do you have it
school,
at
like
four? What movie are you going with?
Dracula, like the OG
Bela
Spanish
Lugosi.
films at the same time. Yeah, Bela Lugosi.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a classic monster. Like, who doesn't want to be seduced by? I don't know.
Also, he's a
Seduced.
seducer. I've never seen this movie, so it's
You have never seen a Dracula movie,
no.
Enrique?
Not any
You're
vampire.
blowing
You've
my
seen a
mind right
vampire
now.
movie, bro.
I
Really?
mean,
You never
not
Blade,
like
read
but
the
a
that's
story
not.
Drac
He's
a
Dracula?
not
Drac
seducing.
not like a
Oh,
Dracula
sorry, guys.
movie. I've never seen one.
I'm so
Wow.
sorry. I just asked if
You
Enrique
can't
read
ask
a book.
about
My
books.
bad, guys.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was my
yeah,
fault.
yeah.
Sorry about that. You never read, not to be dumb. You said
Don't
you
ask
read a few. You never read
don't ask
Dracula?
stupid questions, bro.
Never
No.
read Dracula though. That's a good one, bro. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's a book?
Yeah.
Originally,
Okay.
yes.
Originally, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
along the lines with why it's so high for me at number two is because there's so many. I just did monsters, and there's so many different Interview with the Vampire,
There's
Old
a
School
lot of
Dracula, the
vampire
Johnny
stories.
Depp one.
Yeah,
There's so many shows, right? There's so many things.
yeah,
But I go to being about being seduced by a vampire. I would literally lick the bottom of Selma Hayek's shoe in Dust Till Dawn, bro. Like it's literally, bro. Like fucking Dust Till Dawn is a great fucking movie.
yeah,
Cheech Marine plays three different characters in the same movie. Like it's fucking dumb. There's a guy that has a gun in his cock. Like it's
Huh?
so dumb. Jim Brown's in the movie. Oh, no, is that Jim Brown?
yeah.
No, no, it's not Jim Brown. It's a Hammer.
Uh,
It's
yeah, it's
Fred
the other guy.
Wilkinson. Oh, I might be saying his name wrong, but he's in the movie. It's cheesy. It's campy. It's so good, and that's
Yeah,
probably my favorite. Probably, even though it's not like a straight vampire movie, it is, right? Like George Clooney's fucking arm tattoo is like the coolest shit ever in that when he has a vest. It
yeah.
just it's cool, man. I love that. So that's why it's so high. But
Va-
there's so many different versions of vampires you can go with.
vampires. Yeah. Well, even like as corny
Mm-hmm.
as it is, right? Twilight is all vampires, right? And how it's like
Mm-hmm.
that. It's whatever
I've
it
seen
is
that.
about them.
I've seen that.
Well,
That's my favorite vampire.
oh my god. Okay, moving
That
on.
one.
Number
What
three.
about True Blood? You never
I
saw True
love
Blood?
True
I
Blood.
was I did see True Blood, yes.
That
I was trying
oh,
to
There you
remember
go.
the name. I was gonna ask you guys what was that show on it was on Showtime, right?
HBO, I think. No, I think it was
Showtime.
Oh,
HBO.
Oh,
HBO. HBO.
HBO.
Yeah. That's I
We
like
need a
that
good
show, but
vampire.
it's vampires, werewolves, fairies, like it's all that supernatural kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff, which is
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah, True Blood was
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
So my number three then, if I'm going again to monsters, would be werewolves because I was basing it off of
Hey. Okay.
American Werewolf in London. Um,
Oh my God, American Werewolf in London. I forgot about that. Oh, that's a
yeah,
good
it's.
one.
Have you seen this, Enrique?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Oh my
no.
gosh! Oh, my favorites.
You
You gotta
again.
watch
You
this
should
one
watch that,
too.
Enrique.
It's
It's good.
it is like one of those like quintessential werewolf becoming werewolf. Like it is. It's probably
Is this
like
the Tom Cruise? Tom
no,
Cruise
no,
one?
no, 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 no. This
No.
is
Mm-mm.
you wouldn't even know, but it's Griffin Dunn, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
But
even
he
know
did
the
a
other
version of
guy's
this, right?
name. Tom Cruise as a Wolfman? I don't think so.
No. He did Interview with the Vampire.
He did the Mummy
Oh,
one.
okay. I'm thinking of Interview with a Vampire. So I'm
Oh
thinking.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Um, he did the Mummy
And
too
for the
more
time, if I'm
recently.
not mistaken, Stevens, the werewolf one, American, that's like top notch effects for the time, right? Like him
Yeah,
turning into the werewolf is like crazy shit, right?
even
Yeah.
even still today, it's pretty like it's used as like the makeup effects were great and just the transformation. But
Hmm.
I like that movie too because it's not just the transformation, which is cool, like makeup effects and all that, but like there's something about werewolves. Like as a person, if I transform into a werewolf, right? One, it's excruciating pain that they're going through to do this
Hmm.
transformation, and then they lose the whole night. They have no idea what they do. Like it's all just part of it is like they have no memory or understanding of what's happened, at least traditionally, right? There are other movies that do things, but
Stevens,
like that.
I did that every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in college. Like, what are you talking about? I woke up, I was like,
Are you a,
"Arr,
are you a wolf?
arr," and I was hairy as fuck too. I was like, like, why is there blood on me? It got weird.
Oh, gross.
But there's something like there's just something mysterious about it, right? Like not alcohol induced. It's something that you have to go through to be like it's pain induced essentially, right? And then you just go and
Yeah,
you
sometimes
eat
it
people.
was.
Yeah, I'm sure you did a little bit of that too. And
Eat
then
people?
yeah,
Sometimes you did.
yeah, so
Continue, Stevens. Maybe I was a werewolf. I don't remember.
maybe you were. Maybe you were.
Oh
That's
man.
awesome. That's
uh
awesome.
so that was my number three. My number two would then be I guess it's just a monster in general, but it's the monster, Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
Um, so
Hmm.
pieced together from dead bodies and a brain that's abnormal and
Oh, is that what Frankenstein is?
yes, yes. Have you not seen this either?
No.
Shut. Good God, Enrique.
When
The
it,
fact that you get surprised because I haven't seen a movie
but
still blows my
but these
mind. Like,
weren't like.
where
I,
are
I
we?
I get
You're
it,
insulting
bro.
me.
But
Like, are we
like,
not friends?
but this is like everybody's motherfucking seen some version of this, dog. Like,
and you could have seen it
he
on
gets that little
Saturday.
girl and throws her ass in the water, fool.
KTLA showed this shit. Fox 5 showed this
Yeah,
shit.
that's what fucking blows my mind, bro. Hey,
It
fine,
was
like
on.
you, Channel 5 had it, dog. Channel 5 had it, bro. Right after 3 movies with John Wayne, you motherfucking gotta take goddamn movie. One of these
I
monsters in
believe
it,
you.
bro.
I believe you, but I don't think you realize I was not watching
Watching
TV
TV.
as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah, yeah.
surprise me,
You're right.
but it does surprise me because these are I don't know, like movies that should be on your list. I'm gonna send you
Well,
the
there's
And
list.
stuff. It's stuff that I
you've
definitely
watched.
heard of or whatever, but I've never
Mhm.
actually sat and watched the movie. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And you went back and watched Singing in the Rain. You went and watched certain things like that. You should
Yeah.
go back
Hmm.
and watch some of these. Like honestly, because it just, I mean, and I'm not even a horror movie guy, right? I know these aren't horror; these are monster. But you know what I mean? Like, you gotta
Well,
watch Frankenstein, like,
Yeah.
and then you gotta watch
this
Young
is why I
Frankenstein.
was this is why I was trying to this is why I was trying to get this. I was asking you guys about the podcast for this whole time because this is how I go back and watch
You
stuff
need new shit
because
to watch. Love it. All
I
right.
got
yeah.
Well, she
I
gave you
got
like four already.
I
She
gave
gave
you
you like
some
four
homework.
already, bro. Give him five. Give him
Gave
five,
you some
Stevens. What's your
homework.
top one?
So my top one, just based on again monsters, would be sharks because I went off of
Okay.
Jaws.
Jaws.
Jaws,
Okay. I'm not. Stevens
yeah,
throws the first
Jaws is
fucking curva into the fucking frame. Okay.
it's a monster. Like, why would it not be?
Mm,
It's the monster of the
it's
seas, right? It's gonna
it's an
freaking
animal,
eat
right?
you.
It's an animal.
Yeah, it has
I,
no desires but to eat you, right? Like that's what they portray it as. So that shit's scary.
I go to the beach. No, I don't go to the beach all the time. When I go to the beach, I don't give a fuck about the water. I ain't getting in that motherfucker. There's sharks in that bitch. Bro. Like, it scares me enough not to get in that bitch. Dog.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I love
Sharks
it,
are
dude.
Yeah.
And
scary.
Jaws
Like,
is, yeah. You watched Jaws, Enrique?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hey, we got
yay!
one. There we go.
Woo! Wait, what
I
about
All right.
Jaws
recently
3D?
no.
Oh, well, all right.
Don't.
I did watch Jaws recently. I saw it
Oh, okay.
recently.
And did you
Okay,
enjoy it?
but you still watch it.
I did enjoy it. I did
Okay,
enjoy it. It was
good.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good. It
All
holds
right,
yeah.
up. It
all
does
right.
hold up.
It does.
That's
It
a
does.
great five. That is a very old school Universal monsters with. I mean, Jaws is added in there though. Universal Studios might sponsor us after this goddamn episode because Steven's went hardcore with them. No, but we about to fuck it up. All right, Enrique, top five monsters. What do we got? Let's go.
So I went with specific monsters from either a movie or a show that to me are my
Whatever.
favorites, not necessarily that scare me, in a way where, I didn't sleep well because of it or whatever.
Yeah.
They're actually monsters that I either think are like cool looking. I just thought they were cool but technically are still a monster.
All
So,
right, let's go. Number five.
um, my number five is, good old Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc.
I love it. It's a good monster.
All right, nice, nice. I ain't mad at that one at
I
all, bro.
I fucking love Monsters Inc. It's one of my favorite Pixar movies.
It's a good movie.
Good
And
call.
I thought Mike Wazowski was so funny, like just with Billy
Yeah,
Crystal, his voice was just like perfect, for that character. I love everything about that. It's just one of my favorites. Um,
Nice. That's awesome.
and he's a monster, right? It's like Monsters Inc.
yep.
So I
Monsters
thought it
Inc., bro.
was it worked. So then my number four is a movie that I didn't necessarily watch as a kid, but it was so big that I just knew about it and I would see it either in commercials and it would pop up and other stuff throughout the years. But taking it back to what year did this come out? 1985. It was one of our homies John's favorite movies. Any guesses?
Teen Wolf too.
No.
Oh no, no werewolf.
85. Are we going Michael Myers? No, that was young. That was before that.
I don't know how you described a
84. Sorry,
monster.
Mm-mm.
sorry.
Oh,
84.
84. Oh, okay.
84.
84.
Terminator.
Freddy Krueger.
No.
Oh,
Freddy
No.
Krueger.
No.
What is it? Number four.
The Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters.
uh,
Hey, okay. All right.
that's a good one. The Stay
That
Puft
is a
So
good one.
Marshmallow Man.
Stay
Stay
Puff,
Puft,
Marshmallow
yeah.
Man. Stay
So
Puff. There you go. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So I just thought it looked so cool. I don't know. I just thought it was
Big.
so wacky. Yeah, it
Mhm.
was so wacky, and it's not like a monster like you would think of a monster, but I just thought it was cool. I don't know, for some reason, even though I didn't see the movie as a kid, just seeing it in commercials or whatever, the toys, I just thought it was clever. I just thought it was cool, and I just liked it. So,
Like it.
I like
um,
it. It's
It's
a
a
good
good
one.
one.
yeah. So,
Good one.
and then my number three is, I don't know if, I'm pretty sure, Ivan, you never saw Game of Thrones.
No. Oh, I just saw one season, remember?
Yeah. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
you never really got to see the Night King from the White
Mm-mm.
Walkers.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Bro, because in the show, if you watch the show, and a lot of you have, it's always a thing it's talked about. It's like, the White Walkers are coming, it's like the whole show just revolves around them, of everyone preparing for the Night Walkers to show up, and they're just constantly talking about how scary they are, how powerful, this and that. When this motherfucker finally shows up, and he's like the leader of all the White Walkers, he just comes in and he's just a fucking badass. I just like, you're not supposed to like
Mm.
him when you're watching the show because he's the enemy,
Mm-hmm.
but he's just so fucking cool. Like the way he comes in, I was like, dude, this motherfucker's a badass. Like, I want to grow up, like, want to be up, and I want to be like him when I grow up, pretty much. So, the Night King, if you guys don't, he has a good look, like a cool look to him, and I don't know, I just really like the Night King.
Nice.
My number two, I'm gonna take it back
Sick.
to Monsters Inc. James P. Sullivan, Sully. I mean, if you like
Sully.
Wazowski, you got to go with
You
Sully.
do.
Sully's just,
He's a badass.
he's just cool. He was just, one of those characters that you fall in love with. So,
Yep.
he's my number two. The only reason he's not my number one is because I gotta go with my boy. Now I'm taking it to back to the 80s, 1985. You guys
Oh,
know this.
yeah.
Scott
I do know this.
Howard, Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
He's my favorite monster of all time. He's not an evil monster. He's not
He's
gonna hurt.
not.
Like he might hurt
No?
you. He might hurt
If
you.
you set him off, right?
Especially if we're
Um,
playing basketball against them.
yeah. Teen Wolf, for the people that don't know, is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. For some reason, I did watch this as a kid. Completely fell in love with it. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I don't know how I watched this movie, but I did. And um, yeah, I fell in love with this movie, and to this day, I can go back and watch it. And I know it's a horrible movie, but
It's fun
I don't
though.
give a fuck.
It's fun.
I don't give a fuck. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
love it.
Yeah.
And so he's definitely when we talked about doing this, I knew automatic he was gonna be my number
I think
one.
we all
So
did. I think we all did. We knew
yeah,
we were going to go with that. Wow,
yeah, yeah.
2 weeks in, and we've only matched once, the three of us, and that was vampires. That's interesting
Yeah.
because I do not have
Yeah.
anything on your list, Enrique. All right, number 5, going to one of my favorite monster, if not my favorite monster universes. Number 5, she's the queen. I'm gonna go with Mothra. I always thought
Yeah.
Mothra was dope as shit in the Godzilla universe when they would bring out those little twins
Okay.
out that box and they'd be like Mothra, and they'd be singing, her ass would come out and shit like a butterfly and just look like a badass. And she was like everyone knew that was Godzilla's girl. It was like it was Godzilla and then that
Yeah.
was his girl, and they were just the perfect couple.
Yeah.
And I really did enjoy the new universe, the Legendary Pictures universe. I didn't care for when King Kong came in because that fool was a chump. But like when it was just those first three and the way Mothra looked visually, she looked so beautiful and like the light, like her wings, or it was awesome.
Yeah.
So Mothra has always been one of my favorite monsters. Not the favorite because there's only one king of all monsters, but she for sure was number 2, so she'll be my number 5. At
Nice.
number
Good
4,
pull.
because my dad saw him in the mountains of California, Bigfoot.
Yeah, I love
Bigfoot's
this
my number
story. I
4.
love this story.
Bigfoot's number 4. My dad almost hit him with the car. We would have been fucking rich. But my dad's a good man. He swerved because he thought it was a devil. He was probably drinking. But my dad saw that motherfucker. Said he was 10 feet tall. He was hairy as shit, and
Love
he
it.
saw Bigfoot, bro. And I to this day, man.
When
Santos, most religious man I ever met in my life, looked me dead in my eye as a kid and told me, "Your dad. We saw him. We saw his ass, bro. They saw Bigfoot
so
in the mountains of Northern California."
multiple people said they
Two
saw him.
Yep.
cars. Two cars with of railroad workers in Southern Pacific in the late 80s or mid 80s, driving around in Northern California going to work because they used to go together in a caravan of 2 cars. And these were like metal cars, like not this bullshit we drive around now. Metal. They would have killed that motherfucker. We would have been rich, bro. We would have
Yeah.
been wearing like fucking Bigfoot jacket and shit. I would have been like, it would have been, I would have been all over the news, bro. Yeah, we wouldn't have done this podcast because I would have been living large, bro, like off my Bigfoot money. But
You don't
he
think
Love it.
swerved and
you don't you don't think they were doing some crazy ass fucking shrooms or something, and they were tripping
nah, my
balls?
dad. I'm sure. Nah, I'm sure my dad did drugs growing up, but he was just a drinker at this point in time. He was drinking and shit like that. Nah, bro. I mean, I'm
When's the
telling you, he
when's the
came home.
last when's the last you guys talked about this?
Didn't you ask him one time in my house?
I don't think I did, but I want to now. I'm going to next time I
Yeah,
see him.
bro. Like, yeah, motherfucker saw Bigfoot, bro. I'm telling you, he came home. He was like, "Go get your book of monsters." I used to love this shit growing up. Aliens, monsters, all this
Yeah.
stuff. I fucking turned to that page, that one picture. And fucking, he was like, "I saw that son of a bitch," and I was like, "Damn!" I thought he came to the room to tell me he loves me, but he's like, "Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Show me Bigfoot." And I showed it to him, and he was like, "That's the shit." So that's my number 4. Bigfoot
Love it.
coming in hard. I would never do those shows. I try to watch one just thinking like maybe I'll get something out of it, but it was just a whole lot of heavy breathing. It was like cops for like the people that really aren't in shape. Like it's literally what it was. Right there. That's literally every Bigfoot show I saw. Number
Yeah.
3, because my parents used it every single time, so I wouldn't do something wrong when I was a little kid, is El Cucuy. Cucuy scares me as fucking kid. No explanation what El Cucuy is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what a Cucuy did. I don't know what he's going to do to me. But if I was going down that hallway and I wasn't supposed to, my mom would be like, "Hey, the Cucuy's over there." I'd be like, "Oh shit." And that was enough for me to stop. Like, that was enough for me to be like, I'm not doing whatever I was going to do because El Cucuy was over there. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't even know what he looks like. They had El Cucuy maze at Universal Studios. We talked about last week. But like, I'm like, "Is that the Chupacabras? Who was that?" And they're like, "It's El Cucuy." I'm like, that motherfucker don't look like that. But I don't know what he looks like. I don't know. But
Nobody knows.
he was scared. Nobody. That's what makes him scary, dog. Like,
Yeah.
that's what
It
makes him
does, yeah.
scary. But
Yeah.
You're
like,
right.
Yeah.
seriously, everything I wasn't supposed to do followed with El Cucuy. Like, don't go over there,
Yeah.
don't go over there, looking Cucuy. Don't do this over here because of Cucuy. You know, like, it's so that shit was terrifying as a little kid. So the Cucuy wouldn't be
Yeah.
number three. We already
It's a
talked
good
about my
one.
number two. 110%
Vampires.
vampires.
Yeah.
Vampires are just dope. They're slick. They look cool. They dress cool. Blade, fucking Dracula. Like I said, Dust Till Dawn, the True
Yeah.
Blood. Fucking the people
Yeah.
that like the sparkly vampires. Like,
Yeah.
is there anything cooler than a Daywalker and fucking Blade with a sword? Like your fucking house music bumping and he just cuts everybody up. There's so many
Yep.
good versions of vampires. The teeth popping out, like when it's
Yep.
go time. Like they don't even like kill you. They just like give you a little hickey and it's over, bro. Like it's just the shit's cool. Like you know what I mean? I
Yep.
remember what was that Jim Carrey movie? One Bitten, Twice Shy.
Oh,
No,
is it that one or once? It might be that one. I forget which one is
yeah,
his,
like
but
there
yeah,
was all those horrible 80 comedy
yeah,
vampires, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
yeah,
Like there's
yeah.
just so many good vampire things out there. If it
It's
wasn't
true.
for the King of All Monsters, that would have been my number one for sure. Just because it's cool. And Bela Lugosi, just pale face, some bitch, like old school as hell. I didn't mind the Johnny Depp movie. I know people kind of hate that movie, but I didn't mind it. Van Helsing's a cool spin off of that. Like there's just
Yeah,
so much in that world that I think, and where it comes from. Vlad the Impaler, and how this
yeah,
motherfucker used to drink his enemy's blood and put their carcasses on spikes to scare
yeah,
people. Like this motherfucker comes from a scary ass human being that like
yeah,
was real and did this shit. So like it's just not like its own story. Like it comes from somebody who's a fucking horrible human being and drank his enemy's blood. So fuck yeah, number two. But
love it.
number one, no doubt, just like you felt about Teen Wolf, I felt about this guy, Godzilla,
Yeah,
King of All Monsters. Since I've been a little kid watching K-Cow, seeing those fucking movies, I fell in love with it. I still go watch all that new shit that came out. Toys, everything, comics. I bought King Kong beat the shit out of Superman. It was my happiest days of my life. Like I love all that shit. Like
yeah,
he's just a badass, bro. Like he's as big as a building and he's fucking, but he's a bad guy. And I love what they did at the beginning. It's literally just like talking shit about the United States and the fact that we bombed them with nuclear weapons.
yep,
That's where it
yep,
originated from. Great fucking story. Great story. And then they flipped it into like this campy, he's a protector of the world, where
yeah,
he did the Muhammad Ali shuffle. Like he fucking like what the fuck? Like I remember him doing that when he's fighting Mechagods. They're like whoa, 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 and he just hits him with the jab. I'm like what?
yeah,
Like to
yeah,
where they made him cool again, and fucking when he gets roided up and he has the blue on his thing, and then the Japanese were like, oh y'all think you can do our shit? Then they fucking come back with their fucking shit like Shin Godzilla and Godzilla Minus Zero, which god damn it, that movie's amazing.
good movie.
Like it's a
Yeah,
The
retelling,
new
but
one,
it's so
what's the new
good,
one?
so
That's
good.
really good,
Minus
right?
Zero,
mine
I
is
heard
zero.
really good things about it.
It's really
really
Yeah.
good.
good.
If you haven't watched it, you
Really,
should
really
watch it.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one. Shin Godzilla was really, really good too. Like I said, I
yeah,
like the legendary ones. I like the cheesy ones. I like Godzuki. I don't give a fuck, bro. All these monsters they have in their world, but he is the king. Rodan, the one he always has trouble with, King Ghidorah. But in
yeah,
the end, he's the king of all monsters. And when I thought of a monster list, gotta go with Godzilla because if they told me tomorrow there's a new Godzilla movie, I'll probably fucking watch it.
yeah.
Like, like the only reason I
List.
didn't watch Minus Zero is because nobody could really go with me.
Yeah,
Like the King Kong, I watched the King Kong ones, and I'm like, whoa. But at least I still get to see Godzilla kick some ass. So that's
yeah.
all that matters. You
It's a
know,
good
yeah.
one.
But yeah, for sure.
If I had done
Yeah,
monsters, he
110%.
would have been on my list.
Yeah, oh, 110%. Yeah, because his
Yeah,
movies, even though, dude, Minus Zero, you
it's
do
so
need to
good.
watch that,
But
Enrique. That's fucking good,
that's
bro.
not a Godzilla movie. That's a Japanese movie with Godzilla in it. Like it's so good.
Yeah. Do you feel like the original Godzilla is a Godzilla movie, though? The black and white one?
Um, yes and no. I do because it's like the introduction of him, right? Like it is more about him. Where
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
this one's more
Yeah,
about the dude.
yeah,
Like yeah, but
yeah,
it's so good.
110%.
It's worth
And
watching.
his music is dope. His music
Yes.
is dope. Dum, dum,
Yeah.
dum, dum.
Yeah.
Don't like when that the beat drops, bro. You know you in trouble. You're like, this motherfucker's coming. Like his music bumps, bro.
And
Like
it's
one of
in
my favorite hip
every
hop songs.
movie.
Yeah, one of my favorite hip
Yeah.
hop songs loop that sound. It's Pheromone, like get the fuck up, dude. It hits that fucking doom 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 doom. Like when you know it's coming, you're like, oh shit! Like I love it. So
Is
yeah,
it
for 110%.
is it called -0 or -1?
Or
-1.
-1. Sorry, minus
Yeah.
one. That makes more sense than -0. Yeah, minus
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And that kind of it goes more to the original storyline of it, right? Like the
Yeah.
whole testing with nuclear weapons and what goes
Yeah.
wrong with that and all that.
So this would be a good starting point for me to go to
Yeah.
for Godzilla.
It would be good.
Yeah,
It's a
because
good
look,
first watch.
there's so many shitty ones, but I just like you feel about Teen Wolf, I'll watch those motherfuckers
Yep.
but they're not
Yeah, yeah,
good. I understand that,
yeah.
but I think the originals are awesome. I
Yep.
think like Mecha Godzilla is really good. I love King of All Monsters when he goes to the planet.
Yeah,
But
that's a
then,
good
like I
one.
said, Legendary did a good job. I like those movies, man. Like those were really good. I don't know if you watched those like the new ones they made. Did you watch those, Enrique? At all?
I
I
saw
think you
the
would enjoy
one
those.
that I did see the one that what's his name was in Cranston.
Oh, that's a good start to it.
That's
That's
the
the
first
first
one, right?
legendary one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should watch the other two. I really
Yeah.
think they're good, dude. They hold up.
That's the one where he has the blue. He's all roaded out,
Yeah.
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
There's a
Hmm.
train right at the end.
Yeah.
There's a train
Yes.
when they're fighting.
Yeah. Part two is the one in Boston. They fight in
But
Fenway, right?
is that the one that people shit on because Godzilla like comes out at the very end and not for very long? Is that
Yeah,
Oh.
you don't see in the first one, you don't see Godzilla a lot. But if you go back to the OGs, you didn't see Godzilla a lot. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Look, the only Godzilla movie you don't need to watch is that shitty one with Matthew Broderick was in that bullshit, right?
Yeah. That was like 88 or
Yeah.
something. Don't watch that.
No, it was in the 90s. I think it was in the 90s,
Was
Steven.
it that late?
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't
And it
watch
was
that one.
garbage, and Godzilla looked like a lizard. He didn't even look like Godzilla. I don't even think they got the
Yeah.
scream down right, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that scream is literally my text like noise. Like when
Yeah.
I get a text, it's Godzilla's like, yo, bro. Like I fucking love it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be my OG monster for sure. And my monster would beat the shit out of all your monsters if it was the one for one, bro. I'm telling you that much right now. He's as big as a
no?
building,
I don't
motherfucker.
think.
He is a big
Team
dude.
Wolf,
Yeah, you
Team
don't
Wolf
know
ain't
about
doing
the
shit to Godzilla, bro. But first time he tried to
Te-
jump up and dunk a
Team
ball,
Wolf.
Godzilla's eating his ass, bro.
Team Wolf break his ankles, bro. You fucking
Godzilla
come
ain't got
cross him
no ankles,
over, and
dog. Godzilla ain't got no ankles, bro. What are you talking about?
so he's not gonna be able to hang, bro. Team Wolf's gonna dunk on his ass.
Oh my god. Yeah, all of a sudden Team Wolf's the same size as Godzilla like King Kong was, bro. Like that's some
He's got
bullshit.
hops, bro.
Whatever, dude.
If he pisses him off enough, he's gonna dunk
He
on him.
grows like the Hulk
Bro,
now.
I could just imagine that scene when Godzilla opens his mouth, bro, and just shoots out that flame. Fucking Team Wolf's body just disintegrates. The basketball still be there, but his fucking carcass is gone, bro. Like gone, dog. And that again, guys, is our top fives. Stevens, can you roll down your top fives? Because totally forgot to do this last episode. What were your top fives, really quickly? What did you get?
Oh, do you want the monster or the movies I used? My number 5
The
was
monsters.
Aliens. Number 4 was Vampires. Number 3 was Wolfman's. Number 2 was the original OG Frankenstein monster, and number 1 was Sharks.
All right, Enrique, what'd you get?
My number 5 was Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. My number 4 was Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from the Ghostbusters. My number 3 was the Night King from Game of Thrones. My number 2 is Sully from Monsters Inc.
Nah.
And my number 1 was Teen Wolf.
Yeah, I love it. Good list.
OG
Good list.
1985 Teen Wolf.
Well, there's not a new G. Oh, there was a new G, huh? Did
Yeah,
you ever watch
there
the
was a
MTV
movie,
show?
and then no, fuck no.
It was not the
Hell
same.
no.
It's more drama. It's like
I love it.
I ain't
it's
gonna
like
watch that
watching
shit.
any CW show. It's all like the drama-fied version
Oh,
of.
boo.
That wasn't
Boo.
my team.
Yeah,
But my
it
top
wasn't.
five,
Shit.
My top five for sure. Number one, Mothra again, the queen of all monsters. Number four, Bigfoot because my daddy saw him. Number three, El Cucuy because he stopped me from doing everything wrong when I was growing up. Number two, vampires because Salma Hayek. And number one, Godzilla because the king of all monsters.
Love it.
110%, guys. So again, guys, hit us up on our email, hit us up on our Instagram when we find out what it is. Let us know what your top five monsters are of all time, and we'll come back next week with the new list, hitting you guys up every week with something new, guys. Hey, Stevens, tell them bye.
Bye, guys.
Enrique, let them know.
See you guys next week.
And remember, my name's Ivan. Love you guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.